What's up, you two? Thanks for tuning back into Chase Games, and today we're going to talk about the banner that came out just last night, the Zeta Gundam banner, featuring the U, or the O, featuring the O, and the UR supporter, Belcherica. Now, only one of the three units, only the Zeta Gundam, is limited, but if you have the means, this is the best chance to get the other two, even though they will be on all future banners in the general pool. The rate is going to be much lower, okay? But anyway, for free-to-play and low-to-pay players, as I've said before, this banner is most likely a skip. I haven't tested the units out, but I'm sure there's going to be better uses for your diamonds coming up. But let that not rob you of an opportunity to hear and watch me talk about it. Wow, I'm extra tongue-tied today. I need to do these before work instead of after. Anyway, even though I did get lucky and get all of these units, if you haven't watched my pull video, please do. I'm actually just going to show you on the database, because that's going to be probably the best place. Anyway, this is like my third recording because I keep going off on tangents or finding that I don't know what I'm talking about, and then I have to go look it up. So anyway, relevant tags for this unit. Lightning Fast and Syakamu. I think that's about it. Obviously, the other tags can have later skills, but for UR supporters, that's about it. So Syakamu is the tag for the new UR supporter. And is a very good supporter leader skill. We're going to look at that in a little bit. And then Lightning Fast. Lightning Fast does have SSR leaders too, as well as two different UR ones. So there's a good chance that some of you have this. So he could fit on your Lightning Fast team. Stats, he has a great attack stat. Mobility, I'm not sure where that stacks up. Move 5, that's good. The HP is fine. Nothing special. Include conditional passive. Oh, I believe that's for his HP. So this guy does get a lot of stats. Let's look at his weapons. These are all being shown at level 5. Yeah. Alright. So let's start here. Beam Saber. It's just his melee attack. Nothing special there. Arm Grenade Launcher range 2 to 3. Nothing special. It is cheap though. It's very weak though. Giant Beam Saber is range 1 to 3. That's power 5400. Now that's level 5, but that's nothing to laugh at. That also goes off his Awaken stat. That's what ended the first recording. Is I actually still didn't know what the Awaken stat was, but it looks like it only applies to special attacks. So these Awaken symbols and special attacks. So all of your EX attacks, and then it's actually not that common on lower rarity units. It does exist on them, but a lot of them don't have anything to utilize the Awaken stat, it looks like. So anyway, the Awaken stat seems like it's going to be better with UR units, but please correct me if I'm wrong. Still learning how to talk. Alright, so the big one, Wave Rider Charge EX. This is Beam Special, which is important to remember because when you need to start debuffing the big guys, special damage and beam are both able to be debuffed as well as defense. So when you can lower defense and then you can lower special resistance and lower beam resistance, it's a lot of things adding up. You're going to get a lot more damage. Okay. So, and this is range 1 through 4. Alright, so that's the EX attack. And then he also has a less powerful than his range 1 through 3 Giant Beam Saber. But he has now that goes to special. This goes to beam. Okay. This is ranged. Range 3 to 5. So he does have a 5 range attack. This goes up to power 5,160. So that's still fairly strong. Slightly increased critical rate. Slightly lower accuracy. 95 compared to his Giant Beam Saber, which actually has 5% extra accuracy. But it is also cheaper energy cost than the Wave Rider. On some of these Big stages with a lot of enemies, that starts to matter. Okay. Now, the unit abilities, he has 15% attack, 5% evasion, and when his HP is 75% above, he increases his own attack by 20%. And then he does have shield defend, but that's a pretty common. We'll look at Camille, the pilot that comes with him. Attack type, obviously. So he has a very high awaken stat. And I don't know where he lines up with other pilots, but on ranged and melee, but they seem average. Sorry for the amazing quality of this review. He has an HP repair skill, and that is SP10. I believe all of the pilots only have 15 SP. I haven't noticed one with more. Please tell me if I'm wrong. So this is going to be once per battle. He does have an SP5 cost increased critical rate by 50%. So that is pretty interesting. You know, it's the kind of thing that you can kind of reset for turn 1 if you don't get. And then high speed, he does get an extra movement ability. So you can spend 5 SP to get an extra +1 movement. So this guy can hit a lot of stuff on the map. And then the character's ability, he can increase his own damage dealt by 20%, increase his own awaken and reaction by 25%. Okay, so that is good. So reaction affects the pilot's ability to dodge. Okay, and then awaken is what we talked about before. So he's going to be dodging, and he's going to hit hard with the special attacks. So this guy's a nuker. You do want to keep his health high. Sorry. And when piloting units with a specified tag, which is AUG, so that's pretty much all the good guys in Zeta Gundam, increases damage dealt to enemies by 15% and reduces damage taken by 15%. So nothing super flashy. I think the ability to repair is either going to be amazing or completely inconsequential. I think when you're using the right strategies with him, he probably won't be taking hits because you're bringing tanks, but I could be completely wrong, you know, and it does give you access to more strategies. Maybe he takes a hit, you know. I saw another YouTuber point out that Sway is much better. Sometimes Sway could be better, but if you're on a stage with a lot of grunts, maybe instead of swaying one big attack, you have to take 3 or 4 medium ones, and this can just heal all those up. So we could see situations where that's amazing, but I think it might be less amazing than you think right off the bat. So let's go to the O. Okay, so this is a supporter type, not a tank like the farmable SSR. So he will also be on Syakamu. And the other relevant leader skill I see is Tough as Nails. That is another UR supporter that's out there. I believe there's actually 2 of them. There's an energy and an HP restoring version. Let me see. I don't remember the terrain abilities. I think he can't go at all. So there's no sky and there's no underwater combat for this guy. He has half movement over water, and then he works just fine on land and in space. Zeta is half movement over water and can't go underwater. Okay, so decent for him. Let's see. Does he have does it change for his transformation? How do I transform him on this? Anyway, not gonna worry about that. Who cares, right? Who cares about that large part of his kit? I don't. Energy is 507 plus 66. Okay. Again, these numbers are at limit break 3. So 95,000 HP, that's nothing special. The attack is low, kind of. Probably average for a supporter. But let's go down. So this guy does look like he's going to be a great support. Beam Sword, just his melee attack, okay. Psycho Pressure, now there's another Awaken attack. Inflict damage taken from special weapons up 25%. Okay, so that's the level 5, so that's the size it goes. So special weapons are, you know, that's all of, you know, you can see it in the ability, but that is all of your EX attacks. So all your big hard hitting things, that's going to be that. So that's a really important thing. And then he is also able to increase damage taken from beam weapons. Okay, so this is a beam special itself. Let's look at Zeta Gundam beam special. And I'm not going to waste time in the video to go through, but it can't be all, but a lot or most of units' EX attacks are beam special, I believe. So he can increase damage from special. He can increase damage from beam weapons. You get another unit in there to lower defense, and there you go. You got the big three for reduction. Defense reduction is not a hard thing to find. And this is 35% up, so that's very good. Although I mentioned this before in another video, keep in mind that you'll probably be using this at level 3. So you're going to lose about 500 attack power, and it's only going to be a 30% debuff. And I say that you're probably using it at level 3 because this takes rainbow UR medals, okay? And to be fair, let's look at the Zeta Gundam, his EX attack at level 3. That goes to 6,490 power, okay? And the increase for HP only goes up 17%. All right, so that is the O. He gets an extra 15% energy, 5% mobility, and when vigor, that's your MP gauge that you get from hitting enemies. When vigor is super high or higher, increase own attack and defense by 10%. All right, so he's going to get a nice little attack boost. That's not a bad attack. I think that's actually a good attack for a supporter. Okay. But let's go look at Papamus. Okay, so his awaken stat is also high. Not as high as Camille's. Reaction is pretty good. But let's look at his abilities. So he... now, these are the skills. Let me see. For 10, he can restore his energy by 50%. That can be really good on longer maps. Especially since this guy is doing multiple... since he's a support unit, he could be using a lot of his high energy attacks. Boost range 1 during the next fight after activating. So it increases his range by 1. Probably want to save your SP, but that can be very useful. And he can increase his MP by 6, which usually isn't too important for a supporter. But this guy seems like he's going to do relevant damage. That seems to be what he's around, based around his kit. But that's only SP3, so you can get a couple of those off. And then his abilities, these are passive. He does give the support attack counter +1, those apply to any units as a lot of us know, when they don't have a tag, basically if the tag is below the line, like you read them in order, and it will say, like here, this ability, okay, probably better over here, when piloting units with a specified type, okay, it doesn't say up here, there's no specification for this, so he can give 2 support attacks to any unit that you equip it to, even if it's not an attack type, or a Titan, even if it's not a support type, or a Titan, but if it's a Titan, he will get extra damage and reduced damage taken by 15%. And if it's a support type, most supporters will reduce the energy of the support attacks. He actually increases damage by 20%. So this is a very useful ability if you want to get more damage from your support attacks. Or, if you put this... now, this part of the passage won't work, but... he has other abilities to increase damage. Well, let me see. So 2 support attacks and increasing awaken and reaction by 20% will help attack units with this guy do some extra damage. So what a terrible review. I'm just tongue-tied. Lastly, let's look at the supporter. Okay, I've already no, I didn't. Where's the Syakamu tag? Here's the Syakamu tag. Alright, so if you do get this unit, or I've already talked about this in the reroll video, but if you reroll for it, these are the units that can go. It's a pretty good list. So, I mean, right off the bat, you've got Zeta Gundam and the O. Obviously, right? They came with it, so that would be mean. But Lacine, I've got that, so that's on my team. New Gundam, I don't have that, but that's good. Sazabi. Sazabi is another great unit. You know, Sazabi has gone with both of the featured supporters on our first two big banners so far. So Sazabi has been a great pick for those of you that got it. I haven't gotten Sazabi yet. I'm waiting for mine. But Unicorn Gundam, I've got that. Another hard-hitting melee unit. Narrative Gundam Apex, I know this one isn't rated too highly, but it is a UR. And then we've got the Phoenix Gundam, okay, another great support unit. I don't have mine yet. And then you do have the Zeta Gundam. This is the Ultimate Development unit from Zeta Gundam. So the Zeta Gundam 3P2. And then also very relevant, okay, we have a lot of the big SSRs. We've got Red Gundam, we've got G-Quux. G-Quux being here is huge, okay. Red Gundam is another nice option. We all have him, and if you don't, go get him now. He is out. And he does come with a defense down 30% debuff, so he will go great with your O Gundam. And if you want to say, you know, well, I already have a UR supporter that lowers defense. Yes, but have you sunk the UR material into them to actually get that defense debuff to 35%? If you don't, Red Gundam is just as good, at least debuff wise. And then Overon. This is sorry, I got to move it. Overon is the new free-to-play unit. I don't know how strong this guy is. I have not tested him, but he's there. And Full Armor Double Zeta Gundam, I've heard great things there. Quebbly is, I believe, a decent free-to-play support. And then Zeong, I love because it's just Zeong. I love Zeong. So, you know, this is a great free-to-play unit. This is a great free-to-play unit. Hopefully this guy is. I believe Psycho Gundam is going to be a really great tank. You've got free-to-play O, free-to-play Zeta Gundam. Those are both good units. I remember seeing something I liked on Dovin Wolf. That's a gacha unit. Quinn Mantha is a free-to-play tank. So you've got a lot of great options for this Syakamu team. So it may not be as strong as Lacus's leader skill. Lacus was a limited featured supporter on her banner. Belcherica is not limited. So she is actually weaker. Belcherica is in line power-wise with the other General Pool UR supporters. But for me, she's stronger. I have a full team of URs that I can use with her. That could be different for some of you. But, I mean, let's just look. The other ones are, what, Lightning Fast. Okay. Lightning Fast also has Zeta Gundam. The oh, you know what? Sorry, that was both of those. So, yeah, Lightning Fast is one. That's just Zeta Gundam, New Gundam, Unicorn Gundam, Barbados, and then the Ultimate Development Casball, which I don't think there's a great reason to build right now. At least compared to the others. I could be wrong. Please go ahead and yell at me. So anyway, that barely makes a 5 UR team. Let's see, where is that lightning tag? Yeah. One-Shot Killers. Now, One-Shot Killers also has a great team, okay? But, let me see. I want to look at, okay, Tough as Nails. That's one. You got the O, Gundam Easy 8, Gundam X, Gundam, Narrative Packs, Crossbone, and then the Psycho Gundam from the Ultimate Development. So this you can also barely make a UR team, but I've heard bad things about Narrative Gundam Apex. Maybe they're overblown. I don't know anything about Crossbone. I know he's got some fans. The O is the new unit. And then Gundam, honestly, I haven't really seen anything good about the Gundam. I know nobody likes them. So again, there is a team here. It's not the strongest team. Okay, and then, yeah, Tough as Nails is a weird one. That's almost like you bring that as a whole team of tanks almost. And And then the other one that at least that I have is Unstoppable. Large Machine is just, I'm not going to bother. So yeah, Unstoppable has Lysine, Exia, Phoenix. So 2 supports, and look, Exia is great for getting you through story, but I don't think he's really got a lot of place in the end game. He hits and then you got the Ultimate Development Zeta again. So not even a full UR team here. These 2 are the same unit, so that's 4. Now it's all, I know, guys, you don't have to yell at me. I know it's not all about how many UR units you can bring, but it's also pretty important. So that's why I point out that even though her leader skill is not stronger than the other general pool UR supporters, I do think it is better by quality, even if not stat-wise. That's about it. I've rambled for over 20 minutes now. Guys, if you have any comments or questions, put them in the comments. Please like and subscribe. The channel's growing. It's really exciting for me. Please help me grow my channel so I can make more videos and content for you guys. More for the community. I think is better for all of us to keep this game going. So it's not just for me. Help me help you. Alright? I'm just begging now. But yeah, if you've got questions, go to the comments. Like, subscribe. Better yet, if you have a lot of questions or you just want to hang out with like-minded people, join the Discord. The link is in the description. Good luck, guys. I'll be back with more for you soon.